All right, guys. The Utah Jazz just got destroyed by the Portland Trail Blazers, but there's a few thoughts I have about this one. Let's talk about it. The Portland Trail Blazers are an interesting team, and I think tonight they showed that when they're playing well, they can do some really nice things. They're a little bit. Well, let's see. Let's just go from top to bottom a little bit with the Blazers, and then we'll talk about the Jazz. I'll be honest, and Blazers fans, you can disagree with me all you want. I don't know why Anthony Simons is playing over Scoot Henderson. I feel like they need to commit to Scoot. I don't know what the goal is with Anthony Simons. I know he's a nice offensive player, but one of the issues that I've seen in the past, at least with them, is that they can't defend. And with Damian Lillard gone, I would just think that you would have ejected this experiment at a certain point. We know what Anthony Simon is. I don't think anyone is questioning or wondering, man, wow, what could Anthony Simons become? And I just think Scoot Henderson playing with your starters is what you want to do and can really help him come along. But you know what? Whatever the Blazers want to do, it's not like it hasn't worked great for them the last 2-3 years, right? No, just kidding. But anyways, they trade for Denny Avdia. He played pretty decently tonight. I think the plus minus. Oh, and someone made a good point. Should I move this over here so you can see the stats? Maybe that's better. Is that better? Let me know in the comments. But anyways, Denny Avdia and every starter was like a plus 30 something. They crushed Utah tonight. Avdia is a nice defender and he shot the ball well last year for Washington. I haven't looked at what his shooting is for the Blazers this preseason at least, but I imagine he's going to do well. But look at that, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. He was a nice pickup. Jeremy Grant, we know what he can do. He was nice tonight for them. 18 points on crazy shooting numbers, 63 from the field, 75 from 3, 7 assists. They were moving the ball like crazy. But the guy that really impressed me for the Portland Trail Blazers was Donovan Clingan. Holy cow, was he dominant tonight. Clingan had 14 points, 20 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks. He crushed the Jazz. And if he is playing consistently, I know they still have, DeAndre dominating the bench. I don't know when he's coming back, guys. Let me know in the comments, Blazers fans. I haven't paid enough attention to him. I'm not an Ayton fan, but he is a rotation big. And so it'll be easy to see. But did they just get a fantastic pickup in Clingan? It certainly seems like it. We haven't heard a lot about Clingan. Blazers don't get a ton of national attention, so you're not going to hear a ton from ESPN. But Clingan looks great. Tamani Kamara is a nice defender. He obviously is not looking like he's got the greatest offensive numbers in this one, but we know that he's a good defender. And then, Scoot couldn't shoot the ball, so maybe that's why he comes off. I don't know. I'm rooting for Scoot. I think Scoot's got to figure out what his offensive game is, but I just like Scoot and I know what he can do. And maybe I'm the last on Scoot Island, but man, I certainly think that he can develop into something nice. But these aren't great numbers. Ryan Rupert had a nice night. He kept doing some nice things. 20 points, 9 for 14 from the field. Some nice players. Oh, sorry. DeAndre Ayton didn't even play in this one. Shaden Sharp didn't even play in this one. And Robert Williams is hurt. But the Blazers are nice. All right, let's talk about the Utah Jazz. This may be a quick one tonight. The Jazz lost by like 40. What is that? 14 plus 24. That's 20. By 38, they got it under 40. They got it under 40, guys. Lowry. The Jazz starters did not play very much, and they eventually went to like more bench players. So there's not a lot to say here, but Markkanen wasn't very good. 5 points, 4 rebounds. He couldn't hit a shot. Taylor Hendricks was mostly invisible. He was a minus 34. Look at that. He played 19 minutes. Utah really threw in the towel on this one. Holy cow, look at that. The player who played the most was Bryce Sensabaugh, and this was mostly garbage time minutes, which makes for mostly a garbage recap. But we didn't see a lot from Hendricks, so I don't know if there's a lot to take. Kessler did not do particularly, although he was just a minus 16, so I guess you could argue he wasn't too bad. 6 rebounds, 2 points, You'd hope for a little bit better, but he only played 12 minutes, so what can you say? Colin Sexton had a few moments, but he didn't change much either. Minus 27 for Colin Sexton. What a night for Utah. Sexton was 3 for 8 from the field. That's about it. Probably the best showing tonight was Keontae George. He hit his first 2 threes. He had 6 points, was just a minus 16. No one on this Jazz team played particularly well, but he had an assist and a steal in 13 minutes, and he was 6 points, so that's something. Like I said, Bryce Sensabaugh played the most. That's his best, and I guess he was 4 for 7 from the field. I didn't realize he was 2 for 4. Good for him. This is a quick recap tonight, guys. I'm sorry, there's not a lot to say. Utah did not try particularly hard. Jordan Clarkson, it's going to be weird, and I have one major point that I'm going to get to here in a second. That we got to talk about a little bit. Cody Williams, 1 for 7 from the field. He was not able to hit his threes. This is something to watch. I want to see that 3-point percentage at some point. Be nice for him. But he's not been hitting the threes at a super high rate this preseason, so that is something to watch. John Collins, I guess you could argue, was the best player for the Jazz tonight. He was 1 for 3 from 3, 3 for 6 from the field in 11 minutes. It's crazy. No one on the Jazz team played very much. They just let everyone play like a certain amount. So this wasn't anything you could really take from this. Patty Mills played. We did see Kyle Filipowski. One note on him, his passing is nice. He had 4 assists tonight. The passing is pretty good from Filipowski. It's pretty interesting. I think he probably is going to be a center in the future and maybe a backup center for the Jazz, and that would be really nice. Just a minus 8 for him. Juzang came down to earth with his 3-point shooting. He was just 1 for 7. And we got to see Oscar Tshiebwe play 3 minutes. Good for Oscar. Anyways, that's pretty much everything stat-wise. Guys, I have to say, and this is the first time Utah's really kind of, and I think this is a little bit more of what Utah's going to be this season than the other where they were winning. A lot of that winning was a lot of fool's gold to me. It was really, I mean, they're beating the Mavericks without Luka Doncic. You got to be a little bit careful. Utah goes into the locker room after halftime. The starters didn't leave the locker room, and I don't know what that's all about. It's a little strange. You assume that it's just nothing, but it's something. Like, that's not particularly normal. I don't know if they were just leaving the game early. This was basically like Utah's done for the preseason. They know what they're doing, I guess. That's weird, and it's probably nothing. But I will say this, Utah is playing a little bit of a dangerous game, and they've played this game the last 2 years, and we heard rumblings last year with the, there were players on the Jazz, and I believe one of them was Walker Kessler from things I've had on the podcast, that were not happy with the direction the Jazz went, and I think the other one was Lauri Markkanen. Obviously, Lauri Markkanen signed the long-term contract, so he's on the Jazz. Utah can do whatever they want with him now. He is on the Jazz. You are locked in. You wanted the contract. You wanted to be in Utah. You didn't want to be traded. So you got to be happy with what the Jazz are doing. So I think Lauri Markkanen will be fine. But if the Jazz have issues with the locker room, don't be surprised. You know? Someone like Colin Sexton might not be particularly happy if the Jazz are losing games by 44 and they're fine with it. Jordan Clarkson, same thing. John Collins. I mean, John Collins is getting paid and he, 20 million reasons to be fine with it. But, I would not be surprised if there's some things this season that are a little weird. It's why timelines matter. I listen to guys like Ryan Russillo say timelines don't matter. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If you don't have your core superstar paired with core players like Keontae and Taylor Hendricks that are matching timelines and working towards the same goal, you are going to run into issues. That is the thing with these teams, is your players have to be working towards the same goal as well as management. And if management's goal is Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey, whereas someone like Lauri Markkanen, his goal is the playoffs, there's going to be friction there. So don't be surprised if we see stuff like that, right? I don't know if that was anything at all, but it's certainly something to watch because it's weird and I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that where the starters just don't come out of the locker room after halftime? That's weird. That's strange. And it's why people like me were calling for trades, calling for them. It's not necessarily just because you want to make trades to make trades. It's that timelines matter. Development timelines matter. And I really like what the Jazz have done in the draft with their draft position. Keontae's nice. Taylor Hendricks has a lot of potential, in my opinion, as a future stretch 5. I don't know if Bryce Sensabaugh is going to be anything, to be honest. But Cody Williams has shown nice flashes. I like what we've seen. But it's going to take time, and those guys need to be on the floor with guys that are in their timeline working towards the same goal. The goal for this Jazz team is development. It is not playoffs. And so if there's guys like Markkanen that might be not super happy with it, too bad. You took the contract. That's what you wanted, you know? But it may come with friction, and we probably saw a little bit of that tonight, right? It is what it is. All right, guys, that is the show tonight. Not a lot to get from this game because not a lot of players played. Utah was not interested too much in winning this one. Let's go to, let's see. We got to play the music, though. That's for sure. And we got to give a shout out to the All-Stars tonight. Guys, the season starts on Wednesday, game 1. Who's excited? I am. It's a lot of fun. I mean, the Jazz are going for Cooper Flag, and this is the way it works. And I'm personally excited about it. All right, if the lottery was today, Utah is sitting. Oh, no! They put Utah at 6. They adjusted. No, I liked being at 4. All right. If the lottery was today, where would the Jazz land? 6 is where they stay. Detroit jumps. Portland jumps. They get Cooper Flag. Detroit gets Ace Bailey. Utah gets... Who does Utah get? Hugo Gonzalez. And the fans cried because we wanted Cooper Flag. So that means number 6 again for Utah. Put that on my chart. What a bummer! All right, let's give a shout out to, oh, I didn't even bring it up. So let's just bring up the All-Stars tonight. Guys, if you're a Utah Jazz fan and you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? And if you want to be a part of chat and during the live streams and talking during games, you got to join. Be a part of the channel. All right, let's bring this up. Wow. This is me, rookie move here. It's taking just a second. Let me bring this up. Oh, we got Chipmunk Channel, part of the rookies. Thank you, my man. All right, let's give a shout out to Baby Elliott Madsen, Dirty Jazz Car Wash Channel. See ya, Lexalator, Ryan Perry, the legend, Christian House Money to Haas, The Outlaw Jesse James Nelson, Jordan the Goat Bessroll, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, KG10 to TH5, and Patrick Akubo, the Connoisseur. This is likely going to be the shortest recap of the season, except for the one where I kicked the power cord the other night. Guys, if you're a Jazz fan, if you're an NBA fan, subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing more and more and more and more. Guys, this is a lot of fun. I will talk to you pretty soon. We're going to be doing videos. And by the way, I'm doing more Instagram and TikTok. Go subscribe to my Instagram and TikTok. I've been doing a lot more on there. Trying to figure out how to get those shorts on here too. YouTube does not make it easy. The 3-minute thing's going to be nice, YouTube. Figure it out! All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time.